Welcome to the part 1 of building navigation. In this video, I will start building the navigation for this web page. We will be using the navigation bar component from the Bootstrap, get Bootstrap, and you can see this navigation bar. This navigation bar has a lot of things like drop down, like search button, but we don't need this. Our navigation bar is very simple. So these are the classes and the elements for the navigation bar from Bootstrap. Let me copy it and paste it in the header section. Exactly right after the header element. Let us add the comments for it first. There is a lot of unnecessary elements like the search bar, like the drop bar. Let me remove the unnecessary elements. Okay, the first element is nav. We need it with the class of nav and nav bar default, and we also want to add a nav bar with fixed top. Our menu will be fixed at the top, and our container is not fluid, it is only container. Okay, this div will act as a button. We also need it. Okay, let us say the target is Loso. I will rename it to Loso and I will keep it. And in the brand section, let me create some space so you can understand it. I will indent it properly. Okay, in the brand section we have a small size logo, like small size logo. Just add as the edit image source with logo, not this one. I think we don't have this logo. Let me check it first. This is the logo we need. Let me copy it and paste it inside images. I think we missed it in the beginning of moving the content, so we need this small size logo. Okay, and alt for that would be logo. Okay, moving forward, and at this stage we only need this unordered list. I will delete the rest of the elements. We don't need these. Okay, so we need a collapse, navbar collapse with ID. It is Loso now. Loso navbar collapse -1, Loso navbar collapse -1, and inside that we have a navbar and navbar, and the navbar should move towards, navbar should be right aligned. And I think we also don't need these elements too. We just need we only need list item inside navbar. That's it we need. And and the first element is home, and we also need, let me remove these, and we also need to add a class to this anchor element with class of nav item. This is a class from the Bootstrap. I will copy it and paste it several times, and second is about, third is features, and then we have screen section, and then download, and the last one is contact. So we will have these menu items at the top with the navbar fixed. Let us also add IDs, like the header will act like home. Let us add home here too. So when the user click on the home, user will be taken to the header element, and after header we have about. Let us add ID of about, and let us add ID to feature section, features, and also to screens, and also to download, and at the last also to contact. And at the bottom we also have a footer, and there is a scroll top. I will add home to this. Let us modify the navigation for these also. When clicked on, it will be taken to the home element, and it will be about, and it will be features, and this will be screens, and this will be download, and this last one will be contact. Okay, now we have a nav element. Inside the nav element we have a container. Inside the container we have two important things. The one is navbar header, and it contains a button and a brand. In the brand we have a small logo, and the button is for the responsive layout. When the screen size is small, then this menu will become a button of icon bars. So second important wrapper is collapse, navbar collapse, and this is the main menu with home, about, features, screens, contact, download, and contact, and their corresponding IDs. This is the way when the home anchor tag will be clicked, it will be taken to the home ID, and when the about will be clicked, it will be taken to the about ID, and the same way for the other features, screens, download, and contact. Let us see the result at this stage in a browser. Okay, we have our menu there. This is a small logo. This is the small logo. If I resize it, these are the icon bars. Do you see? And it is also working fine. Even I have not added the CSS to it. Like, it will take you to the about section, it will take you to the feature section, and it will take you to the screen section, download, and contact. Everything looks fine. And at the bottom we have this button. It will take you to the header section. Let us add some CSS to this nav bar. I will add the navigation in the header section near to the header CSS, like here. Okay, I have a nav bar of default. Let us add CSS to this part. Let us add the background color transparent with border color of 444 and with Z index to 1110. Let us add some transition to all of 1 second. Okay, now we have the background with transparent, and the reason I added the transition because we will need some change at the letter point. Okay, moving forward. After that we need to add CSS to the anchor elements of each. Inside the navbar dash default we have a nav bar dash nav, and after inside the immediate list item is, and then there is immediate anchor tag. Navbar and navbar dash nav, navbar dash nav, this one navbar dash nav, and inside that we have these anchors. This greater than sign is used for the immediate element, like in the nav bar this is immediate list item. These are all immediate list items. Let us add CSS to this. The color of this should be B5, B5, B5. Let us add the font family Railway and sans serif, and let's also add transition to the anchor tag too, and let us add the hover and focus state. The color should be 129 CF3, and on the focus state copy it, paste it. The color should be, I think, this one. We have a nav bar brand, then let me copy this class. This also need a CSS, and let us add some padding to it of 9 pixel and 15 pixel. Okay, you see our state. Okay, we now have the CSS. Basically, we are writing the CSS from the Bootstrap. Okay, moving forward, I also have a nav bar brand, and inside it I have a small image. Let's add some transition to this also. And it is looking fine. Okay, let us add some more complex CSS, like for nav bar default, nav bar nav. Let me copy it if I don't any mistake. And the immediate active anchor tag, and also I need the hover state for this, for the active focus. Let us say the background color for that should be transparent. And the color should be 129 CF3. Okay, this is the active one. The menu bar is taking the shape. Almost looking fine. We will need to add some custom JavaScript, so I will continue in the next video. See you in next video. Welcome to the part 2 of building navigation section. In this video I will be adding some custom JavaScript to the navigation section. So let us start adding some custom JavaScript to navigation. To add a custom JavaScript, I need to add a custom.js file inside JS folder, like custom.js. We can add any custom JavaScript and jQuery inside custom.js. You can name it any. It is not necessary to name it custom.js. Okay, let me link it inside the index.html, like script JavaScript and custom.js. Okay, let's add some custom JavaScript and jQuery inside custom.js. This is the result of navbar. I want to make it invisible at pixel 80 when user scrolls. So let us add some custom JavaScript to show and hide the navigation bar. Show and hide menu, and for that I will use document.ready function. Document.ready function. This is the function I explained in jQuery section. Function and inside that I will use strict mode of JavaScript, so it will follow the JavaScript standards, and inside that I will access the window object, and on scroll we need to access some point, but before I do it I also need to add use strict mode inside this. And if window object on scroll top is less than 80 pixel, the menu bar should become invisible, and to make it invisible I need to add some custom JavaScript to add CSS, like we need to hide the nav bar. So in header section we have a class with nav bar, and I will access the nav bar like .navbar and .css. I will add the margin top of this element to minus 100 pixel. This is the negative margin which will make the menu bar invisible, and with opacity of 0. And if this scroll top function will return vertical scroll bar position for the window, and if it is less than 80 it should apply this CSS to the nav bar. If it is greater than 80 then else it should apply some other CSS. It should make it visible, like margin top should be 0 and the opacity should be 1. Let us see the result in the browser. I will refresh it, and now you see when the user scrolls and at pixel 80 it becomes invisible, but if the vertical position is greater than 80 pixel the menu bar becomes visible. Let us add some more CSS. Like you can see at this point we cannot see properly the menu bar, and for that we have a class added with navbar default. I think navbar default. Let's add some CSS to the navbar default at some scrolling point. Okay, we have a class of navbar default. We will target this specific class of Bootstrap, and let us access it in JavaScript like this way, and CSS. I will add background. Right now it is transparent. The navbar default background color is transparent. Let us add some background. Let us say the background should be RGB A with 59, 59, 59, and with alpha value of transparency with 0. The reason I am adding the transparency 0 because when the scroll position is less than 80 it should become invisible. Therefore I added the transparency at 0. Let us add this CSS to the else section. In the else section the transparency should become 0.7. And let's add some border color to the navbar default. It should be this. Let us see the result in a browser. I'll refresh it. Now see, it is not getting, it looks like there is some problem. No, everything looks fine. It looks like there is some problem. The background, okay, it is background color, not back color. It is background color. Let us see the result again. Okay, now it looks fine. Do you see this background color and with border? So the purpose of this script is to make the menu bar visible and invisible at pixel 80 when user scrolls. So now there is a transparent background, so user can easily see the background. Okay, let's add some more CSS. Like for example, we have a navbar brand, and inside that we have an image. Okay, we have some padding around it. Okay, let us add some CSS to the navbar brand element, and for that I have to add some height. Height of 35 pixel, and let us remove the top padding top of 0 pixel, and let us add CSS to these anchor elements. And for that I need to access navbar nav. It will go in the else statement when it is visible. Dot navbar nav, inside that there is list item, and inside that there is anchor element, and let us add some CSS to this. And we need to add just the padding. Should be 15 pixel. Let us see the result in the browser. Okay, there is a padding of 15 pixel. This is what I wanted, and there is also a height of 35 pixel with padding top 0. So now you can see at position 80 the menu bar becomes invisible, and it becomes visible at greater position of 80. Looks fine. Okay, moving forward, let's add some smooth scrolling to this menu bar, and for that I will make use of this script. You can access it using this scroll bar, this URL. I have added this URL in the resources file, so you can see the smooth scrolling. Let me show it to you. Let's add this smooth scrolling to this menu bar. I will go to back. I will copy inside this code, and I will write it inside the document.ready function. Let us add some new document.ready function. Add smooth scrolling I will use strict mode, and inside that I will paste this code. So we need to add the smooth scrolling to the nav item, and we need to access it like .nav item. I will save it and let us see the result. Now let me show it to you. If I go to the feature section, do you see the smooth scrolling? If I go back to the about section and contact section, this is all because of this newly added script. So it is good practice to make use of already available scripts, and we also need to add smooth scrolling to this button. Let us do it. For that I need to add an ID to the footer element. In the footer container here I will add ID scroll to top. Let us also add this ID in the selector, and this is the way to add an ID in the jQuery selector. Refresh. Do you see the smooth scrolling? So in this video we added two types of script. The first one is to hide and show the menu bar at some certain point, and the second script is to make the navigation bar smooth scrolling. So that's it for this video. I will continue with the next video. Thanks. Welcome back. In this video I will be adding some more JavaScript to the navigation section. In this video I will be adding some JavaScript to make the menu item active on click event. For example, if I click on screen, it brings the user to the screen section, but the screen menu item is not active. Let us make it active on the user click event. Active menu item on click. Document.ready function. Inside that I will add use strict mode, and I need to access the menu item like navbar nav, and inside that there is a list item, and inside that there is an anchor tag. When this anchor tag is clicked, it should add an active class to the list item. And if you remember, I added the active class CSS in the style.css, and this CSS will be applied when the user click on any nav item. So I need to access nav bar dash nav, and inside that I have a list item and then anchor tag. Let me confirm it. Nav bar. Let me copy it from here and then paste it here so I don't make any mistake. Dot parent. It will access the parent element, but I think I forget to add the on click event. on click event, when the user click on anchor tag which is inside the list item of navbar-nav. I will also use strict mode inside this, and I need to add and remove some CSS from the parent element. The parent element of anchor tag is list element, so here we are targeting the list element. Parent element, remove class, and if the active class is already added with the anchor element with the list element, with anchor element parent element which is list item, it should remove the active class. This line of code remove the active class from any list item which is the parent of anchor element inside the navbar, and it will apply the active class to the current this dot parent dot add class. Add class of active. Let me show the result of this JavaScript in the browser. I will refresh it, and now you will see, okay, when I click on the feature section, now you can see the feature menu item is active, and if I click on the contact menu item, you can see the contact menu item is active. You can see the list item, the parent element of anchor tag, is getting the active class. And this is the CSS we applied in the style.css. So now you can see if you click on any menu item, you get the menu item active. Okay, let us add some more JavaScript. On the scroll, if you see the menu item is not active. If I want to make the menu item active on the scroll, for example, if a user is on a feature section, the menu item feature should be active. Let us add JavaScript for this. Highlight menu item on scroll. I will add document dot ready function, and inside that I will use strict mode, and on window object and on scroll I will add a function, and inside that again I will use strict mode, and I will target the each section like this about section, the features, testimonial, purchase now section, all of the section, and it will loop through each section. Inside that I will access the ID attribute of each section. For example, this dot attribute, and I will access the ID attribute. Like the ID attribute is about, screens, features, download, and contact. So it will return like something about, contact, download. Okay. Let us also get the outer height of current element. This is the outer height. The outer height returns the height including the padding and border. You can see this is the outer height function. It will return the outer height of current section which include padding and border. Let us add one another variable, greater top, and this will return offset and with top position. This offset will return the it will retrieve the current position and then will get the top position of the current each section. Let us subtract some pixels, like 50 pixels. This will allow to retrieve the current position using the offset functions, and then we will get the top position with subtraction of 70 pixel. Now if window dot scroll top is greater than great top and window dot scroll top is less than greater top plus height. It should add some CSS. The scroll top function will return the vertical scroll bar position of the window if this is greater than to the great top, which is the offset, which is the current position of the each section with subtraction of -70, which is if it is greater than, and if the window dot scroll top is less than with greater top plus height. I will access the current section like dot navbar dash nav. Inside that there is a list item and there is an anchor tag inside list item, and we need to filter the anchor tag like a href and I need to add the bb variable plus closing brackets. It is not dot, it is plus. Okay. I think it should be this and this. So let me explain it, what it will return. It will look like, for example, if I replace this, and it would look, if the user is on the about section, it will look like this: about. So it will access the current section. If the user is on the about, the BB will be replaced with the about, and if the user is on the download or the contact section, it will be replaced with the contact or the download sections. So let us access the parent element of current section with parent function. Dot add class. This add class will add class of active, and in else we need to remove. If this statements becomes false, then we need to remove the active class. Remove class. Let me save it and let us see the result in the browser. I will refresh it, and if a user scroll, do you see if the user is on the about section, the about menu item becomes active, and if the user is on the feature section, the feature menu item become active, and the same way for the screens and download and contact. And the click event is also working. Everything looks fine. Okay, that's it for the menu bar. I think we are done with the menu bar. I will see you in the next video. Thanks.